This recording was made the 23rd July of 2016. This was the first whip I ever made of the track Foggy Night that I made under Blackbird. And today, for the first video of this series, I wanted to take a song that you all know about. I will put at disposition all the stems, all the separated tracks. If you are a composer or just curious, you will be able to download it on my Patreon. Link will be below. So now let's see how I made it, and you will be able to see how simple it is to make music. Alright, so here it is. Here is the project Foggy Night. On this window you can see the structure of the music, and I will try to explain as best as I can how I created it. As you can see, it's really small. It's 10 tracks, 10 different instruments, if I can say it like that, even if it's not totally true. So let's start with the first sound. We have this pad that you all know. And as you can see, it's always the same for the whole track. I will explain how do I do variation later, but for now let's stick to the sound and see how it's working. So the sounds have a reverb and an EQ on it. So if I put it raw, it will sound like that. So yeah, more raw, but I wanted to get a nice sound with a nice tail, a long tail. So of course I've just put a reverb on it. Yeah, so it decreases slowly. And an EQ like that to make the sound more smoked and have these nice frequencies going up. I don't know why I did put that, but let's see. Yeah, okay, it's just to the mid frequencies, just to make them even more coming up. At the same time, we have the crackle noise. So after 2 loops, we come to this sound, which is another synth doing a piano. I was putting a delay on it, but apparently I did not save it because probably it wasn't fitting the track, or maybe I'm using it later. I will need to see that. So same here, reverb, the same one, I think. Yes, and an EQ also in the mid frequencies. Also a compressor, but my knowledge about compression was really terrible at the time. I think it's okay, but it could have been even better. I guess I really wanted the sounds to come up even more. I add a pitcher to it, which is a bit weird, but it's working super well to do this. So to explain what exactly it does, I am just going to play it. So as you can see, the needle is moving everywhere because a pitcher is made so it's an auto-tune that just make the sounds right in tune. But with a chord, of course, it's not working. But I found this original way to get a lo-fi sound just by putting this chord at the end and put a pitcher at the end of the process. Like if you add a reverb, EQ, a compressor, the sound doesn't make sense at this point, and the pitcher is going to completely make some weird artifact on it. And I just love this, so I just slow it down, and it's going super slow and changing the pitch super slowly. Yeah, like that. It's less lo-fi now. I admit it's super subtle, of course. Next, we have, of course, the hats. So hats coming down, getting low passed, and the low pass filter is going up. So I wanted to have this nice hat going all the time the same way. If I'm going there, yeah, it's really clean, really always the same time. And then adding some swing to it by adding other hats. So we have this hats, and also this hats. And so if I put them all together, it got a nice swing. And here we are, just before the beginning of the drop. So it's slowly going up. So what exactly is happening right here? Right here. First, I increase the high pass filter, high cut filter I've put on the crackle noises. So as you can hear, the crackle noises are going to get more smoked here. And then I cut all the sounds, all the reverb, everything with those 3 automations. That's going to cut in time the whole reverb, the whole sound. And as you can see, if I take the mixer at the same time, you're going to see what really is happening. And then the snare, cutting all the sound, and then getting back to them. What happened next? So there is the snare. I'm really happy of this snare. It's one of the best snare I ever had, I think. So this little snare, it's I don't even remember where it's coming from. It's just nice to sometimes find some amazing sounds like that, and you just put a lot of different effect on it, so it sounds really nice. So let's see. It says it's on this channel. So what kind of process do I have here? Not much, I think. Yeah. So again, high cut, low cut, and plus mid-range frequencies going up. This was something I was doing a lot with Blackbird because the sound of Blackbird was smoked, and I wanted to keep it that way, to keep my sound the same way all the time, kind of smoked. So let's see if I don't put the filter. Yeah. So imagine a Foggy Night track where the snare is sounding like that. It's not the same, right? Next we have the bass, which is another synth. It's still the same synth. So bass, a really big bass. I always love doing this kind of stuff. Woof, that's some nasty EQ here. Wow. So completely cutting out the high frequencies, and then from the mid-range frequency starting to put it up. So it's like really smoked again. Always want this smoked sound. It's funny because the sound is even having some trouble here. Got some digital distortion, but I guess I didn't care at the time. Whatever, you know, if it's working, it's working. Whatever. So with that we have the beat. So kick snare. So it's a simple EQ in the bass frequencies. Actually, I don't think anyone is doing it this way, but that's what make the track what it is. I think it's really original to find some other way to do things. I guess I had only vision in my head. It was mostly based on the vision I had of the sound, not really theory or stuff like that. I didn't care much. I was just putting EQ and well, whatever, because the kick alone sounds more like this. Yeah, and with the EQ, yeah, which is totally different. At the same time, we have this brass sound. So a long brass sound with a reverb on it. If I'm going here, yes, this is where we can hear it. So without. Yeah, and if I add everything. To me it was adding something to the bass, so I kept it. I was just trying things around, and I thought, oh wow, it sounds really decent like that. And then of course the hit. I'm not going to tell you where it's coming from, but maybe some of you might recognize where it's coming from. So yeah, again, EQ reverb. Yeah, so it sounds super raw and then processed with a nice noise in the background. I love this hit. And here it is for the first part of the first drop. But as you can see, it's not just only this, because as you can see here, there is some dynamic going on. So first there is the dynamic of the brass coming up. It's like that. So it's not direct. And of course, as you can hear in the background, there is the crackles here. Every time the loop is finishing, the high cut is going up, and then let the high frequencies pass. So from the beginning of the drop, we have a sound that is really smoked. Before the beginning of the drop, it's really smoked, and then it's from the start of the drop, it just go down, and then it lets the high frequencies pass, and slowly increase the high cut. So the high frequencies start again to get smoked and smoked. And then every time doing this, so it gives some dynamics to the track. If we are listening to it now, you are going to hear it. So getting smoked, completely smoked, and then getting back to the normal rate. It's super subtle, but it gives your track much more dynamic. Then comes this sound. So simply a bell noise that takes the melody and just repeat it. Simple again. And then we are just coming at the end. As you can see, there is some things happening with the automation. So some of the elements are getting more smoked. So it's prepare your ears for the breakdown. The break. And then new sound coming. Here it's a pluck, doing the same chords. So it's doing 3 times the chords, simple chords of 3 notes repeated on 3 different sounds. Here it's reverb, compressor, and two filters. If I don't use any filter, you can hear it's maybe too raw. And if I put everything, it got a nice tail, and it's really subtle. It's getting more and more present because of the EQ getting more and more into the high frequencies, I think. Yes. And then same process with the snare hitting and getting rid of all the sounds, except for the reverb of the Pluck. I don't even remember why I did this. I did it this way, but I think it was nice to just have just one sound still here. And simply adding the new sound to the whole track. And also here I'm doing a new thing, which is playing with the gross beat. It's called like that. If I'm going here, I put the gross beats, and let's hear how it sounds. So as you can see, it plays with the time of the hats. Here is what it does with the hats. So yeah, when it hits here, it goes back in time, kinda. If I would put it in words, it would be that. It goes back in time. Play with the time of the position of the hats. Yeah, and it goes like that. And that's it. After that, of course, there is the decrease. Simply. The only thing I didn't talk about here, of course, and which will not be in the stems because I don't want people to have some trouble with that, it's the presence of something called the sidechain. So the point is to tell your sound that every time the kick is hitting, the sound you choose to sidechain are decreasing in volume. You probably didn't heard it, but it's here, it's really present. Every time the kick is hitting, you can hear some kind of... the sound is pumping down. And you can see it even here. time the kick hits, it goes down a little. And if we are taking a look at how it looks, it's like that. I did that for several sounds. As you can see here, it's all the sounds where there is the wires. So Crackles, some instrument, Omnisphere instrument. I'm not sure I did this with... yes. As you can see, I wanted I wanted to keep some nice attack for the Pluck, so I decided not to put it on the Pluck, but I decided to put it on everything else. And I think we are done here. As you saw, if you just go around and check some stuff and just, I don't know, play with the sounds, you can have some good results. And I think creating music can be done by anyone. It's just about artistic vision in the end. So if you have a strong artistic vision of what you want to hear, you can definitely do whatever you want, as long as you are just looking around and just playing with the sound. I hope you liked this video, and feel free to tell me in the comments what would you like to see next. Maybe I will do another video like that if you guys really like it. New albums from Foxtail and Fox are coming this year, so stay tuned for more tracks from me. In the meantime, stay safe and see you in the next video. Bye.